It is hard to focus only on football, but as bad and as horrible the situation is in the Ukraine, and the situation that Russia started this war, which is incredible and unacceptable and horrible, there are so many things which are much more important than football. There is so much more, and there are so much more important jobs out there than mine. And that makes me feel uncomfortable, because we are still very, very privileged.
You and the players were spoken to by the hierarchy of the club on Thursday afternoon.
Yeah.
What assurances were they able to give you in terms of being able to carry on business?
No assurances, and I think anybody who gives you an insurance should not be trusted, because no one knows, this is my opinion, what's coming. 1 week ago the statement was clear, the club is not for sale. 1 week later, it is obviously. So if anybody tells me today this is what's going to happen, I will not trust the 100%, because we need to be flexible, and things turn out to be crazy enough to be upside down 1 day later.
It's an unprecedented scenario.
Yeah.
And you are the focal point of this club. How are you dealing with that?
We are absolutely against the war, and absolutely against an attacking war, and of course against any war. There cannot be a doubt, but I'm not so sure if it helps that I give constantly my opinion about it, and a political opinion, because for this we have experts who have to deal with it. And this is a concern, and this is bothering, because in the end I don't feel comfortable to give an interview with you, and we have now spoken 0 words about football, and I don't know if this is a good thing. It just gives football an importance that it can have as an entertainment, but it should never put into perspective with war, with children suffering, with any human being suffering, because it has not that importance. And this is crystal clear, and this is always clear, and that's why we feel privileged, but at the same time very uncomfortable to give interviews like this, because I don't have the answers, and I don't have the knowledge.
What do you say to players who will come to you now who have uncertainty over their future? And of course you've got to suspend negotiations with 3 players in particular,
Yeah.
Christensen, Rudiger, Azpilicueta, with regard to their future. What do you say to them right now?
You know, in times like this, sometimes the focus shifts. We are still in peace here. We are still healthy. We can still do what we love the most. So it puts things also into perspective. Of course, there are players who have uncertainties about future contracts, but maybe we can shift the focus. Maybe they can feel still the joy of being in a strong bonded group to win football games, and have a pure pleasure from that, and that helps them a little bit to forget the uncertainty. I don't know, but nobody can come to my office and expect a solution, because I don't have it, and maybe that's the solution, just to admit it.
You said right at the start, you know, we're living virtually day by day.
Yeah.
On that basis, have you suspended certain activities that you would undertake normally, i.e. looking at future targets with the analysts, potential signs? Is that pointless right now? But by the same token, the club could be sold to somebody else who would want that.
Exactly,
So what do you do?
Need to be prepared.
So what do you do?
More or less, we do what we normally do. If we stop looking at players, if we stop pushing our players, if we stop talking to analysts and our scouting, whom do we help with that? It would seem to give up, and then we will not prepare if it continues. It's the opposite. We do business as usual with a lot of distraction, but still the core and the attitude and the culture in the club, in the building, is the same.
Taking that narrative and moving it towards the football itself,
Yeah.
How much have you got to face that challenge that it doesn't impinge on results?
We are all of a bit of the same here in this building. Once we arrive, and once we smell the grass, and once the ball is there, we will be competitive. These guys here, they are not normal guys. They are huge competitors. It's an elite group of sportsmen, and they have it in them. And to find the connection still to their core, no matter what's going on that we cannot influence, is the target that we have. It's more difficult than usual, it seems, and still we demand of it, and we try to get results, and yeah. We will not make up excuses now before we play the games, and It's not ideal, but it is what it is.